All right, man. It's Ryan Castagna representing the Taco team. Who am I here with today?
We got daclap67.
daclap67. Your new album just dropped. And with that, we got to ask the most common question of all to kick this one off. Where do you usually find your inspiration in your music?
Really, a lot of it's electronic. So I have to say, video games have always been a big inspiration for my music career.
What game?
I think Undertale soundtrack is just is a banger one. A lot of the early Nintendo stuff, like Zelda soundtrack.
Yeah, man.
Mario's even got some good stuff. Like I'd say for sure, like songs like "Don't Crash" would have underground Mario level video game music kind of like vibe going to it.
Yeah, I would agree with that, man.
So
I would agree with that.
Just like funky 8-bit sounds, that for sure came from gaming. But other than that, man, I would say, I gotta shout out Kanye, man. I shout Kanye out,
right.
and I'm lazy.
Already pretty early, and this is a controversial time.
Yeah, it is. It is a hard time to say that Kanye's the man, but the truth of the matter is, he's just he's one of the greats, man, and he's established that you can use 8-bit sounds and all this stuff and find major success in hip-hop media, and he's kind of already branched out of hip-hop and done a lot of other genres, worked with a lot of artists. So he's a big inspiration for sure. And the way his music career actually started sort of...
Similar to yours, you'd say?
He started earlier. I think it was he was 13 or something, but he started off making sounds that were like video game sounds, and eventually worked his way into doing more hip-hop stuff. But he started off with game sounds.
Yeah.
And I definitely resonate with that a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. Makes sense. So it's like kind of a 808s inspired kind of type thing.
You have to hear the new shit to really understand that.
Okay, and like I say, I heard that kind of undergroundy sounds within the first tracks of the new album.
Appreciate it.
But anyways, let's go. This is kind of going to get a little deep for this next one.
Okay.
Do you believe that your music has a purpose beyond entertainment? And if so, what is that purpose?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, I don't know. I'd say my reason that's beyond entertainment is just sake of a legacy in your life, man. I would say that is in a sense still entertainment. You're providing entertainment for people who are looking into your life, but at the end of the day, it's it's more than just entertaining. It's supposed to be art. It's supposed to be something I'm passionate about, and it is.
Right.
And so I would say it's just one, leaving a mark on my time here.
Right.
I'd say that's all I can really say right now. I haven't done a lot of music with words. I haven't, it's mostly instrumental stuff, so I don't have a lot to say right now, but for the future, for sure, it'll mean more. That's the goal.
So with that said, when you died, daclap,
oh shit,
do you want to be forgotten like the man who made the stop sign? You don't know that guy's name.
No, I don't know the guy who made the stop sign.
But guess what? He made a revolutionary.
Yeah, true.
Item.
I saw a handful of stop signs on the way here.
Exactly.
That thing's sticking.
So, and leaving a legacy, a lot of guys left a legacy like Tupac. So what's the difference between your legacy and Tupac? What can I take from Tupac's legacy and what can I take from yours?
I feel like we might be stretching here a little bit.
Nah, man. What's the lesson you want to teach the people who listen to your music?
What's the lesson?
They come in knowing nothing. What do they come out knowing?
Our lesson is that we gotta have fun, man. We gotta have fun, and you just gotta express yourself and put yourself out there, and just practice what makes you happy. That's really the true. Right now, the message of daclap is one of my early tracks, "Finding My Inner Peace." That song was sort of supposed to be a staple for that. The music is helping me find my inner peace.
I like that.
And so it's right now, it's not really about you guys, because there aren't any of you guys. Yeah, I don't have any fans. I have, actually, the fact that we even have an interview today is actually incredible. So thank you, Ryan. But right now, I don't have a whole lot to say to you guys.
Nah, man. I think we got a lot more questions to go.
Okay, right, for the fans.
For this next one. Have you ever written something that's helped you heal from something big in your life?
As of right now,
Like, you are making a
Like
piece
something,
of music.
how big? Like, what are we saying here? Like
Anything here.
like-
Let's say you're heartbroken.
okay,
Have you ever
so
written a piece
an
of music and you're
emotional
like,
trauma kind of thing.
yeah, any trouble in your life, has a piece of music that you've written, has it really helped you maybe see something that you didn't see before?
I wouldn't say like right now that there's like one piece in particular that like was almost life changing, you know, like I wouldn't say that. I would say for sure though the music career as a whole has definitely helped me come to terms with a lot of heartbreak about a lot of different relationships. I used to live out in Colorado, and lost contact with a lot of friends out there, and that was something that was, I guess, a heartbreak
Right.
early on for me. Nothing too crazy, but the music for sure helped me like just be more comfortable with it, you know, because I have friends now who support my music, listen to it, and give me feedback.
And you're part of a bigger group, you're a bigger
yeah,
label.
I think there's a creature over there, something looking at us.
I don't know what that could be. But,
Yeah, it's
you know.
it's probably fine.
so let's say this question. Do you ever feel pressured to fit into a certain image or sound? Like, how do you stay true to yourself? How do you stay daclap and not become a net spend type like we see a lot of people today?
Well, if I'm being honest, I could never be Netspend. I've tried to make beats that sound like Netspend. I've tried to make shit that sounds like Destroy Lonely, and I just didn't find success. No, but for sure I'd say my method is that, like, generally rule of thumb is, like, I try to branch out and use a lot of different plugins whenever I'm doing MIDI stuff. But
Constantly evolve. throughout your music.
I'm trying to evolve my music, but also whenever I'm working on an album or like a set of like a set list, I do generally try to use similar plugins, you know, and then I use like similar mix effects on stuff just to try and give the music an overall theme to the sound.
Right.
But I also don't really like to do that. You know, I like to. My goal is to try and produce as many sounds on one album as possible right now. Like I'm just trying to test everything out. So, yeah.
So with that said, what keeps you from getting burnt out when it comes to making music? What keeps you motivated? Because a lot of people, they struggle to get into the studio. They'll make, like, say, one good album, and you're not going to get another album for a good 4 years. So what keeps daclap dropping so consistently?
Well, one, it's really easy to not get burnt out when you make a song in 45 minutes to 2 hours each, max. I mean, I don't know if you guys, I don't think I've shared this. I purely operate off of the FL Studio demo, which includes the majority of FL Studio's standard features. One of the major ones I'm missing is being able to save projects. So,
So it's all in one go.
Yeah, every daclap song you've heard was pumped out in one sit down.
So with that said, how do you know when the song is finished?
You know, a lot of the time I'll play back the song, listen to it all the way through, and majority of the time, whenever the song's finished, it's because I was finished. I was done. I was done doing that. Maybe I didn't believe in the sound, or I was just feeling distracted by something.
So with that said, you're getting distracted from something. Is this song that you got distracted on, is this still going on the tape? Or do you not think this song is good enough? Does it have to be a perfect song for you to throw this on the tape?
I mean, you know, there's lost files. You know, there's for sure a lot of scrapped daclap projects that don't make. Like daclap1 I'd say daclap1 probably had some of the most work that got scrapped. And that was just because I was in the early stages, didn't know what the fuck I was doing, barely understood how to use the demo of FL. So there was a lot of bullshit. Just like, I remember, like, I think I spent like 2 hours straight on a song that I fully deleted. Just because I did not believe it was like maybe the second song I ever tried to make after Nightmare.
It was a nightmare.
Because I wanted to, like, I made Nightmare, which was like a 27-second long snippet, and then I was like, all right, no, I'm not doing a 30-second snippet. Like, we're pumping out a 3-minute song. We're going straight into this, and then that just completely fucking like just
Fell apart.
Didn't work, and I should have saved it. I honestly, right now, I can't even remember what it sounded like, but sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Our cameraman's He's
It's all good.
got a lot of motion going on.
But what did you learn from that? You spent 3 hours on a project that fell apart. What helped you going forward after that happened? Like,
I mean, I pretty much, after I deleted the project, the next day I realized, man, like, deleting that was stupid because I could never get that back with the FL demo unless I had spent $100 in that moment and paid for FL and then used the backup feature. But
so you learned part of the process.
Yeah, what I learned was to never fully delete something.
Yeah.
Just to save everything, just to keep it, because, you know, you can always sample stuff and bring it back.
This is true.
So, you know, it's that was probably one of the early takeaways from daclap.1, daclap67, I should say, debut album.
I want to ask you about some of your members. You know, we got a couple people. You're part of the Taco team, pretty big collective. You know, we're up on the rise. So I want to ask you, what do you think of Taco himself, and how has he helped you with your music?
What do I think of Taco?
Yeah, you know, how has he helped you as a kind of a leader of the team over the years?
You know, I'd say leader is not a word I would use. He's there. He's a figure, and he makes stuff happen. But generally speaking, you know, there's a lot of songs that say composed by D Speast on Spotify.
Whoa.
And those songs are actually not composed.
You know, let's cut the controversies out.
Okay, all right. Let's cut to the chase.
The team.
The point is, Taco is pretty much the greatest manager, and honestly, we couldn't ask for anything more from him. I mean, he's helped direct the art for all of my projects. You know, without Taco, there is no daclap67. If we're just being real, I didn't have anyone that, like, anytime I mentioned, I should make songs, I should try and make music, I got shut down by all my friends. But Taco actually supported me through and through, I can relatively say.
And I think that's something everybody in the team can kind of say about themselves.
Yeah,
he helped
for
us,
sure.
Open ourselves up a lot.
Yeah, he's sure he doesn't necessarily make the most music on the team. Sure, he doesn't have a job and he lives with his mom. But, you know, at the end of the day, without Darren, there is no creative direction of Taco
This
team.
is true.
So I can't really say shit besides he's a bomb.
All right. So with that said, let's talk about another member here.
Okay.
Swag Made Evan.
Oh
He drops
man,
pretty
I have a lot to
consistently.
say about
Great
Swagman gave his ass up. System studio in Miami. I read it in an article. I'm snitching on all you babies.
Producer. Some say he helped you learn FL Studio.
No. Swagmade. Well, yes. Yeah, yes and no. Swagmade has almost no influence on the actual sound of my music. However, I used to slide the plugins I want into a slot of the drum pack selection instead of sliding into a track list. So I had a standard methods to creating music in the beginning, and Swagmate actually taught me you can drag plugins into tracks on. You know, I'd never even watched a video on how to make FL. I just kind of hopped into it.
You got in there, man.
And figured, you know, this can't be too hard.
Yeah.
And it was hard at first, but once I'd say Swagmade influenced the speed of the production. I mean, like, daclap.1 took me like a month. daclap.4 I did in a week, you know, and that, like, just being able to slide plugins in to where they need to be and actually learn how to use the mixer on FL.
Right.
That was all taught by Swagmade. So, yeah, I'd say, yeah, he taught me, kind of.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
This does make sense.
Kind
and
of.
with that, I want to take this over to the balance beam.
The balance beam,
We're going to
alright.
go right over here, man. We're going to take this one to the balance beam. And we're going to ask you a couple more questions.
Walk on it blind.
Yeah, man. So get on there, close your eyes up.
Okay, I'll pull my sunglasses back.
100%. So I'm going to ask you some questions here. I need some rapid fire answers, if that's good with you. All right. Which of your songs is most
Wait, you want me to
personal to
just
you?
walk
Yeah,
on
man.
and
Keep
answer
going. Yep. Which one of your songs is most personal to you?
One of my most personal songs is probably Jungle Bears Don't Exist. Okay, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yes, this is really hard to do.
Man.
Yeah, I give it my eyes open or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say Jungle Bears Don't Exist and Jungle Bear Finally Rest. Just because, and daclap's Penis too is another shout out. But I'd say the Jungle Bear songs. Jungle Bear was sort of my first character in the themes of the music. So he you know, Jungle Bear just meant a lot to me, you know, because, you know, Jungle Bears don't exist. But, you know what? I fucking love Jungle Bears.
So would you say the Jungle Bear is what you were in the past life?
You know, I was always told I was like a rabbit. I actually saw a witch one time. She told me I was a hare. In my past life.
Let's expand on that. Where'd you see this witch at?
I was out west exploring the gold mine, some of the gold mines near Basalt, Colorado, and I bumped into an old shaman, and she actually told me that I was a hare in the past life, and she could tell in the way that I walk.
That's interesting. So, yeah, man, you know, there's not much to say about that. I would say you're pretty hare-like. But, anyways, next. What part of yourself do you reveal most through your music that you don't often show in your everyday life?
What part in my music do I reveal that I don't show in my everyday life?
Yeah.
About my own identity?
Yeah, so say I'm hanging out with daclap one day.
I mean...
And then I listen to his music. What part of daclap am I hearing that I wasn't seeing when I hung out with daclap? We could take it back to
yeah.
Sure.
Getting kind of worn out over here.
Man. Well, we got an angle right here, so you know, our cameraman's doing that. We'll just stand right in front of the camera. Sure.
Sorry, our cameraman's taking a shit.
Yeah, man, so we're just stand right here.
He's shit in the bucket.
All right, so let's see. What's a moment in your career when you felt like giving up, and what pushed you to keep going?
Moment I felt like giving up. New Year. I'd say around New Year's. I made New Year, and I tried making sounds, and a lot of those sounds ended up going on lost files or loading,
Right.
Which are kind of just little fun little side projects, but they're not really supposed to be taken nearly as serious. I just think I kind of hit a wall with like my comfortability making music. Like it just was like whenever I'd sit down and try and do it, I'd find myself getting agitated by like the actual sound of the music.
Whoa. So you didn't like the music you were making?
I didn't like the music I was making as much. Wow. And so, like, okay, let's go over here. Our camera's kind of bumped over something. We also got this camera here now. Yeah, I'd say I definitely hit a wall around New Year's. And it wasn't actually until, like, daclap 4 and, like, maybe a month before I actually did that week of grinding.
Right.
That I was able to tap back into trying to make new sounds and feeling good about it. So, yeah, I'd say New Year. I don't necessarily know what happened. I feel like a third big project for a lot of people is a big wall.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, you did your trilogy of your sound, like what's next? You know, like it's not selling.
Yeah, it's got to be a new beginning.
It's not selling, so we got to try something new.
Right.
You know? And that's not to say that there's not some good shit on daclap 1, 2,
100%.
and 3, but... There, you know, you look at the streams, you look at if people gave a shit. And,
yeah, man, but as long as you like what you're making, man. And then that's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
So now I think we have to address something. The bigger allegations.
Oh,
right?
Jesus.